Today we investigate a very dirty secret. Last year, untreated sewage was released into UK rivers and coastlines over 1,000 times per day, leading to an estimated 11 billion litres of sewage, untreated water and other major contaminants flooding into our rivers, lakes and seas.
This has led to a wave of shocking reports, including crabs on cocaine, eels on ecstasy and a tsunami of hospitalisations across the country due to waterborne diseases and illnesses. With the UK ranking last in Europe for water quality, today we investigate reports of not only high sewage pollution counts, but also shockingly high levels of pharmaceuticals and other chemicals found in our waterways. Worryingly, it seems our mains water supply hasn't escaped this contamination either.
Cocaine in our marine organisms, we found MDMA.
They can hide the severity because we don't get access to that data.
People get really sick, really sick, and we get them every single day.
So now there are a new group of chemicals that we're worried about, the forever chemicals, and it's detectable in us.
Alright, let's dive into this shit show and investigate the waters for ourselves. To better understand these issues, we speak to those who have been physically affected by sicknesses contracted from the water and head over to a number of leading organisations that are battling the shocking destruction of British waterways.
On this small island rock in the Atlantic Ocean that we call the United Kingdom, you're never far from a river, lake or the sea. Our once thriving waterways have been ravaged by the effects of continuous dumping of sewage and other contaminants, leading to every single river, yes, every single river in England being contaminated. Only 14% of UK rivers meet good environmental standards, and none meet good chemical status. With many of our rivers and lakes being so contaminated, they are a risk to human health, and this pollution is doing potentially irreversible damage to the environment and ecosystem.
As we know, most rivers lead to the sea, and our seas haven't escaped the show either. In fact, statistics for sewage spillages are at an all-time high.
With an estimated 11 billion litres of sewage flooding into our waterways and seas every year, these figures are hard to measure, as the spillages aren't measured in litres, but by how many hours they were taking place for, and is estimated using figures released from the private water companies themselves.
Overflow pipes only monitor the event duration, so it only tells us how long it's spilling for, not exactly how diluted or concentrated it is in terms of the sewage, and also we don't know anything about the volume, so that makes it a lot more difficult to actually assess the impact accurately.
For example, one of the worst affected locations is Weston-super-Mare in the southwest of England, which had spillages last year that totalled over 6,523 hours. That's 271 days that sewage was spilling out directly into the estuary, 24 hours a day.
We've exposed so much issues, and instead of them working with us to actually improve the data and improve the way it's like communicated to the public, they've basically just shut us out, and it's unacceptable. They can hide the severity because we don't get access to that data. So they've come up with their own impact assessment, which they don't share with us either, so we can't even interrogate their process.
Wow, so they're signing their own homework off.
They're signing their own homework, and there's no legal requirement for them to communicate to the public when it might cause a risk, so they can effectively just put their hands up and say, well, we don't know, we're not under any obligation.
With shocking levels of pollution like this, it's not just the bacteria and other nasties that are doing the damage. With reports of many marine animals testing positive for substances like antibiotics, antidepressants, and shockingly, even drugs like cocaine and ecstasy that are now found within British rivers, lakes and seas.
Where we are is on the shores of Langston Harbour. It's a site of special scientific interest. It's a special area of conservation. Problem with this area, and it's a rather urbanised area, it has an influence of quite a lot of pollution as well. We found cocaine in our marine organisms, we found MDMA, we found methamphetamine, and these are in crabs, in oysters, in seaweeds.
Massive thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Surfshark. In this new digital age, it's more important than ever to protect yourself online. Thankfully, with the help of today's sponsor, Surfshark, it's easier and more effective than ever.
Whether you're streaming, gaming or just browsing, a VPN protects your data and keeps you safe online across all your devices. From your laptop to your phone, Surfshark has got your back. With Surfshark VPN, you can encrypt your internet connection, access geo-restricted content by changing your server location and stay anonymous online, all with just a click.
One of my favourite features is changing the server location, allowing me to watch American Netflix and other geo-restricted content wherever you are in the world. If that doesn't sound good enough, they have an amazing offer of 4 extra months for free when using the link in the description or by visiting surfshark.com/joefish. On top of this incredible offer, Surfshark are offering a 30-day money-back guarantee. You've literally got nothing to lose. Join the millions that are protected by Surfshark and stay safe online today, while supporting a company that supports this channel. Don't wait, visit surfshark.com/joefish or click the link in the description to get started with Surfshark today. Massive thank you to Surfshark for sponsoring today's video.
Well, these are quite biologically active compounds and we don't really know what effect it's having on them yet. We know for some of the other prescribed pharmaceuticals that they can have quite dramatic effects. So if you cage a fish downstream of a sewage treatment plant, it will start to feminize within a couple of weeks. If you give a crab or a fish antidepressants, it will change its behaviour in very much the way it was designed to change our behaviour if we took that medication. Yeah, there have been concerns amongst those scientists that the concentrations of some PCBs are so high now that it's preventing them from reproducing and they're infertile. And it's thought that some populations will become extinct in the future. So now there are a new group of chemicals that we're worried about called PFAS compounds. Now these are known as the forever chemicals and they're found in our non-stick frying pans, on our waterproof jackets, in stain proofing in our carpets and in our clothes. And there's 1,000 different types of these and we're now starting to understand that they are now detectable in all our wildlife. They're detectable in us and we really need to work faster to get some of these banned.
Worryingly, it seems even the UK mains water supply hasn't avoided this contamination, as there are reports that many of these chemicals and substances are actually being found in the mains water supply itself. A study by the Drinking Water Inspectorate, aimed at assessing the danger from pharmaceutical compounds in drinking water, revealed that even after intensive purification treatment, minute quantities of the metabolised form of cocaine were being found at 4 sites across Britain.
It's a so scary prospect, and they don't. Maybe not so scary for people of my generation, but actually kids, much more vulnerable to this thing. They're a lot longer to live with these things going on around them and even inside them.
I hate to ask, but it's more important than ever that you like, comment and subscribe. When I film content like this, I want it to go out to as wide an audience as possible. And with your help, we can do that. Thank you. With these spillages at an all-time high, there's been a massive rise in hospitalisations across the country due to waterborne illnesses and diseases. For me personally, I know of many people that have been affected by sicknesses contracted from the water, including myself. For me, it consisted of fever-like symptoms that lasted around about a week. However, there are many that have been worse affected.
And thousands of people submitting sickness reports to us. We're the only people that really collect that data. And kids, you know, I've had water company directors saying to me, like, I wouldn't go in the water. Inland as well, you know, these people, the Dart estuary now is designated. Yeah. But you've got, you know, water companies saying, I wouldn't take my kids in there. I wouldn't let them put their heads under the water. Like, why should they be allowed to go and take profit from their jobs, knowing that, and then everyone else's kids are getting sick?
So I've been joined by a local surf. What's been your experiences of the pollution in the water?
Surf down at the beach, down at Mothercombe pretty regularly. It's over the years, just the guys have been getting increasingly ill, and yeah, it's pretty frustrating. So
you found that groups of your friends are falling ill after going in the ocean?
Yeah, guys can tell, and like you can smell it in the water, and just like people get ill for like a week or so afterwards when they've been in for a couple of sessions. So yeah, we just go and have a bit of fun, and then you got to pay the price.
Literally, with your health.
Well, yeah. It's come to a point where it's so frequent that it's kind of just, you just got to play it by ear and go from there. But
we have the app called the Safer Season Sewage Service app, so SSRS.
Yeah.
And when people are sick and they go swimming, they can submit a health report. We have hundreds and hundreds of health reports from people who've just gone for a swim and they've not realised there's been a spill and they've got ill. It's been from rashes to just all sorts of health complications. Some have been really severe, some have just been nausea, but people get really sick, really sick, and we get them every single day.
There are many life-changing waterborne diseases that can be contracted from dirty water, and it seems our fair isle is riddled with filthy, dirty water. But just how far does this corruption go, and what levels are we talking about? Well, in 2009, the European courts took the UK to trial, where British water companies were found guilty of dumping shocking levels of sewage and other major contaminants into the environment. This was dealt with by a fine that totalled into the millions. This expense was covered by the UK taxpayers. This is just one of countless court cases that have taken place and continue to take place against the privately owned water companies across the country.
The river you see behind me is one of the most polluted sites in the whole of the United Kingdom. Sewage was dumped into the river foul for a total of 7,500 hours last year alone. That totals almost 10 months of continuous sewage dumping. Although one of the most polluted rivers in the United Kingdom, this stretch of the river foul actually lies within an area of protected natural beauty.
That green bit there and the pink bit, they're tampon wrappers. It says Tampax on the outside. Obviously, wet wipes everywhere. Sanitary towels galore. I've never seen this many sanitary towels around before.
With new green and environmentally friendly policies high on the political agenda, why is it that this is not only allowed to happen, but is rewarded, with those at the top receiving massive bonuses and salary increases?
Did her bonus, but she did take a reluctantly accepted a 58% pay rise.
Getting a 4.9% rise on my pension.
If any one of us was failing significantly like that in our job, we wouldn't be taking home bonuses and all of this, would we?
Yeah, and turning a blind eye, so they're effectively marking their own homework, and we're pushing and pushing to get access to something that might actually help people keep them safe. And they're just saying, nah, we don't want you to have that. We're going to keep doing our thing because we've got enough money and we're big enough. But, you know, we're here to show them that actually the public is big enough too, and we all care about this. Stop pulling the wool over everyone's eyes.
Yeah, that's it. Stop the shit show.
Yeah, 100%. Cut the crap.
It seems the term green or sustainable only matters when it suits an agenda. This has led to many claiming this is a planned destruction of our rivers, lakes and seas. With the stench of corruption in the air and sewage spillages at an all-time high, when will the infrastructure and policies that lead to this shocking destruction ever change?
So we're protesting. We've complained to Waterborne and said that we think surface water are putting people's health at risk, intentionally almost at this point, by not sharing it with us. And they're trying to control the narrative and being very dishonest about what their intention is. On one hand, they're telling people not to worry and they're investing in all the right things and we've got you covered, and then on the other hand, they're completely disregarding any.
And that investment is just not happening in the infrastructure, is it?
Now, I don't want to leave you feeling hopeless. There are things we can do to help.
From supporting organisations that fight for cleaner water, like the Rivers Trust and Surfers Against Sewage, is a great start.
We're here today to make a point that enough is enough of surface water. We've completely lost our respect and our trust that they're actually trying to resolve this problem. One stark example is that we're trying to inform people of when it's safe to swim using their data on sewage discharges, and they've refused to share the best data and engage with us on the best way to protect the public. So we're here to be a nuisance and let them know that that's not good enough.
And on a personal level, being mindful of what we flush and how we dispose of medications can be a big help.
To protect yourself and find out when and where these spillages are happening, you can download apps such as Surfers Against Sewage that offer real-time locations of these spillages to ensure you and your family are safe next time you're in and around the water.
So the next time you're near a river, lake or the sea, take a moment to think about what's floating beneath the surface.
If you found this eye-opening, please give it a like and a share. It helped tremendously, giving the video traction and getting this information out to as many people as possible. Let's spread the word and make a splash.
Let me know in the comments section or via Instagram what stories, issues or communities that you feel needs to be covered. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.